Alright, so welcome back to another ABA video. So in this video, we're going to be showcasing Kurapika's kit. This kit is overall pretty simple. It's nothing really too confusing. So yeah, I'll pretty much go by step by step to show you guys what every move does, and yeah, so you guys understand it by the end of the video. So your first move is called, there's Chain Jail and Chain Punch. Both of them has the same effect, but pretty much when you're running around you get Chain Punch, but when you're not moving you get Chain Jail. So what Chain Jail does is pretty much it sort of stuns them in that moment. So if they're pretty much stunned right now, they cannot do anything for like that amount of time frame, so they pretty much get stunned. And then Chain Punch, it's still the same stuff, but you do some damage and then they're in the jail. So yeah, they pretty much become stunned for that moment, but keep in mind that if you attack them, the jail thing will disappear. You guys see, we attacked, yeah, the jail thing disappeared, but if you don't attack, the jail thing will be there longer, just for a few seconds and stuff, so just keep that in mind. And when they're in jail, like I said, they're pretty much going to be stunned. Next move is called Drowsing Chain or Drowsing Chain Parry. Drowsing Chain Parry, this one is pretty much a parry move, but they pretty much do the same stuff. So okay, that did not work at all, but let me try it out one more time. Alright, so let's see, we use Drowsing Parry. Yeah, it looks something like that, and they pretty much get chained on. So pretty much what Drowsing Chain actually does is, let's say they're on the ground, it does this. And then if they're in the air, right, it does a down slam. But you only get you only can use Drowsing Chain 3 times before it goes on cooldown. And your third time that you use Drowsing Chain, it will always drag them. Oops, I used the wrong move, but pretty much, let's use it. Yeah, it pretty much will always drag them. But to prove it, let's say they're in the air, it will always pull them. It doesn't down slam on the third time, so just keep that in mind. Holy Chain is pretty much used to heal yourself, but if you press it one more time with a teammate nearby, you'll pretty much heal your teammate as well, but you cannot attack during that moment, so just keep that in mind. And there's also like a different variation where if you're in the air, you pretty much do a chain slam. It looks something like that. It's a guard break move. It's pretty easy to land. Yeah, it looks something like that, pretty good as well. Your last move is pretty much swipe kick, so you just disappear for a few seconds, and if you land the kick, you sort of like grab them and stuff. Looks like this. Yeah, pretty simple. One more time. Pretty simple stuff, and that's pretty much the base. Now let's go through the awakening. The awakening looks something like this. Alright, and yeah, that's pretty much what the awakening looks like. Alright, so now let's go through the move. So Chain Jail Punishment, it looks something like this. Oh wait, it plays a cutscene, so yeah, it'll come like this. Pretty cool stuff. And you guys can see there's also they pretty much get Chain Jail as well, but this time when you attack, they will stay in the Chain Jail, so just keep that in mind. It's different before because when you attack, your chain jail disappears, but now when you attack, your Chain Jail is still there. So that's pretty much what Chain Jail Punishment looks like. Strong Drowsing Chain, it looks something like this. It's the same move, you pretty much lock onto them, but let's say they're close, right? Okay, that's when they're far away. When they're far away, it pretty much does an up tilt, but when you're close, okay, let me wake them one more time. But pretty much when you're close, you're gonna grab them and play cutscene. So let's say we use Drowsing Chain. Yeah, see, when we're close, it plays a cutscene and launches them away. But if they're farther away, it pretty much up tilt them. So just keep that in mind. Pretty cool stuff. Chain Swipe is a pretty simple move. Looks something like this. Okay, there's also that Holy Chain Reverence, but Chain Swipe looks something like that. But Holy Chain Reverence is just your simple healing move in base as well. If you press it twice, I believe you can like heal your teammates. In Judgment Chain, so I can't really show like the player example, but it only works. So there's two different variations depending on if you're fighting like an NPC or if you're doing it on a player. But let's say you're doing it on an NPC, it does a bunch of damage, right? Yeah, you guys can see. But on a real player, I'll pretty much read to you guys what it does, but I'll also put it on screen if you guys want to read it yourself. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for Kurapika's kit. If I do have like 1v1 matches, I might show it, but if I don't, I'll just end out the video here, and I hope you guys enjoy it.